Hello everyone, welcome back to the Marsmatics. In this video, we are going to continue with the trigonometry. In this video, we are going to covering out the sine and cosine law that are very important in the IGCSE and GCSE math. And after that, covering the topic, we'll be covering out some past paper questions in that are already upcoming, that are already have been in the past papers recently. Starting with the sine law. Sine law states that for any triangle with sides ABC and opposite angles alpha, beta or gamma, you can say any angles there. So we know that sides ABC are the three sides of a triangle. Secondly, the opposite angles. So the opposite angle to the sides are the angles alpha, beta or gamma or any ABC angle you can take. The ratio of the length of the side. So it means any side you are taking the length of that, and with the sine of its opposite angle is constant. It means all the three sides and the opposite angle to that, if you divide with the sine of the angle to that, they are constant. Looking out with the diagram, we see the diagram is given. ABC is a triangle we have been given. You can say that any sides are, this is a small a, that's a small b, and that's a small c. So we know ABC are the sides here. And the statement above says that the angle opposite to that, it means the A side, the angle opposite would be this angle C over here. We can say that is an angle alpha because A and alpha are like each other. Now for that base, after that we saw this is the side B. So the angle opposite to that would be here. We can say that's an angle beta. Now the third one here shows that this is an angle here B, and basically the side C is here. The opposite angle to that one would be the angle here, which would be, you can say, angle gamma. So there we got the three angles and the opposite sides are also given. Now the sine law states the ratio of the side length. So the side length is B, we can say, starting with the B. So we'll write it down here. That's a B. Dividing by the ratio means you're dividing with the sine of the opposite angle. So if that's a B, the opposite angle is beta over here with the sine. So sine of angle beta. Now they are constant, mean they are equals to all the side and all the angles. When you're dividing with the sine of the angles, they are equal. Now this is an A side, the opposite angle to that is an alpha. So A over now sine of alpha again, which is equals to, now the last side is C, and C and the opposite angle to that is gamma. So C side divided by sine of gamma. So that is simply the sine law. So for solving different type of question, you'll be given three of the things, like you'll be given two angles and one side. You have to find out the other side, the relative side, that's the opposite side. Similarly, you can given like two sides and one angle is given, you can find out the last angle, the remaining angle. So that's how the sine law works out here. Moving to the cosine law states for any triangle, the law of cosine relates the length of a triangle's. So basically in any triangle, the law of the cosines relates that the length of the triangles to the side of the cosine of one of its angles. It means all the three lengths are going to be included, but you have been given one of the included angle on that. It means now again same thing, we know angle side A here, we can say the opposite angle here is the alpha. Side B here, the opposite angle here is the beta. Side C here, opposite would be gamma. Now you have to relate the all three sides. It means maximum times when you're using the cosine law, we are going to find out the side of any side of that. In that we'll be including all the three sides. So the cosine law states that supposingly you're finding out, in the first part you're finding out the A. So it means it would be A square, you're finding out on the one side is equals to. Now you have to get the squares of the other two sides. That would be B square, add with the C square. After that, you have to do is subtract with the 2 times again the two sides that you have taken, B square and C square. So times by -2 times by BC, B times by C, and then cos of the included angle. Now the cos of the included angle, which angle it should be? The angle should be the opposite side to the A, like the one that you are finding out, the angle opposite to that, that would be the included angle. Or you can say the included angle would be the two sides that you are taking, C and B. To finding the A, you will be including that angle. So cos of alpha, that would be for finding out the A, like side A. Now at the last moment when you get the values, you have to take the square root and you'll get the answer. If you are getting the side C here, now we are getting the side C here. For the C, you will be starting C square equals to Now the question has changed somehow. Now you're signing the c, so you have to take the other two sides, that would be a square, add with the b square remaining, and then the formula. Okay, remember this negative with the formula, subtract with the 2 times, again you are taking the two included sides, so that would be ab, and then cos of which angle should be that? This angle opposite to this c, because we are finding the c, so that would be cos of gamma, angle gamma. Now done with that. Similarly, if you're finding the side b, so for that starting with b square equals to, now as you're starting with b square, the other two sides are a and c, so then a square add with c square and subtract with the 2 times, again the subtraction is with the formula, 2 times, now the included sides are a and c, 2 times ac, and then cos of. Now for checking the cos, because you're finding the angle b here, so the opposite angle to that is beta. Now the angle would become here is beta. So that would be your cosine law that you'll be applying to find out 3 different sides. Now remember, if you're getting the angle for that, you have to just rearrange this statement. Same formula when you apply. After that, you have to rearrange the statement for finding the angle alpha. If you're given all the 3 sides given, then you have to find out the angle. You can simply apply that thing as well. Like you have been, like the same formula is used for everything. You have to just rearrange the statement and all that to find out the different sides, different angles, and you can apply the sine rule as well in that case. Moving towards the past paper questions that has already been in the paper last time. Recently it was in the past paper. So starting that, so then you'll get the idea how the questions are made in the past paper or like the exams paper. So then you'll be able to solve that type of questions as well. Question number 1, it says that in a triangle PQR, we have been given a triangle PQR, in that M is the midpoint of PQ. Midpoint means that this PM is the half side and this MQ is going to be the other half side. So they are basically equal as well, because that's a midpoint of PQ. Now RM equals to 8 centimeter. We are given one side RM, that is an 8 centimeter. Angle PRM, it means angle PRM is 30 degrees here, and angle RMQ is 75 degrees over here. We have been, these things are given. What we are calculating here is we are calculating the side PQ. We know that PQ is a whole side over here, a total side over here. To get it, we have to get something to find out first of all PM, and then we can simply multiply that by 2 to get the MQ, because we cannot find it directly within 2 triangles. Now to solve with that, we'll try to figure out first of all the angles, and then we'll figure out which of the law we can use. We can use sine law or the cosine law. To solve that, first of all, what we'll get here is we'll try to get, because we know this is a straight line, as that's a straight line, we'll to try to find out the easy angles that we can do, because it's a straight line. So 75 degrees here, that would be another angle. So the total angle for these is on a straight line is 180 degrees. When you subtract 180, subtract with 75, we'll get here is angle PMR. So angle PMR should be equals to 105 degrees over here, like that. Now we got this angle. We know this is a triangle PRM. This PRM is a whole triangle. So what we'll do here is we'll just try to find out the angle P over here. We know the total angle in a triangle is 180. So 180 will subtract 105 and then subtract 30 from that. It shows 45 degrees on the angle P. Now after that, we know all the 3 angles are given. We have been given one side as well. So we'll try, because we know when we are applying the sine law, it shows that sine of any angle alpha, we can say sine of angle alpha divided by the A, and equals to sine of any angle beta divided by B, and equals to sine of gamma divided by C. So they are the 3 angles. If you are given 2 angles and one side, you can apply directly to find out the third side. So we know this is 45 degree one angle, this is 30 degree one angle, and this is 8 centimeters. It means 2 side and one of the 2 angles and one of the side is given. To solve that, we know that I told you, it's the formula says if you are taking angle of 45, so sine of angle of 45 degrees, we have to divide that by the side opposite to that, which is 8 centimeters. And that's equals to, now if you're taking another angle, because we are finding PM, the side PM, so we have to take the angle opposite to that. So that would be angle sine of 30 degrees divided by the side PM, because it's an opposite to 30 degrees, like that. Now just we'll be applying this thing and we'll be finding out the formula. solving it, taking PM above, 45 down, so then PM would be numerator. PM, side PM equals to sine of 30 degrees already there. When we are doing the cross multiplication, you can take 8 above and multiply there and divide that one by sine of 45 degrees. We have been given sine of 45 degrees. Now when you solve this thing out, you'll be getting final answer simply for the PM. So that would be sine of 30. You can use your calculator for that. Divided, multiply by 8, divided by sine of 45. After solving, the answer we'll be getting here is 4 square root of 2. That's an answer, 4 square root of 2. And we know what we are finding out. We are finding PQ over here, and that's a whole thing, and PM is the half of that. Simply for PQ, you have to do is 2 times PM, and that should be equals to 2 times 4 square root of 2. When you multiply that by 2, you will get the answer. You can just take it on the decimal scale, which would be 11.31 centimeters. When we take it to 2 decimal places, because the constant unit is centimeters, that would be your answer for this question. So basically the question is like this, that you have to first of all apply some angle techniques. After applying some angle techniques, you can then apply the sine rule or the cosine rule. Right now we have to just apply sine rule and we're getting the answer. So we have applied that. If there would be any conditions that you cannot apply sine, then try to go for the cosine rule. Try it out. Like if 3 sides are given, because right now only one side is given, so cosine rule cannot be applied. It can only be applied when 3 sides and one of the angle are given. Like 2 sides and 1 angle are given, you can find out the third side from that. So this is how it question works, and you'll be applying the sine rule to get the answer. Question number 2, that is another past paper question that we have taken. This is for your practice. You can solve these type of question with different values, so then you'll get the idea how to solve these questions with using the sine and cosine law. Question number 2 says, the diagram shows a quadrilateral ABCD. A quadrilateral is given with the 4 side ABCD, which is made from 2 different triangles ABD. One of them is ABD and one of them is BCD. Show that the length BD is equals to 16.9 meters. So they're asking this length BD we have to show, which is going to be 16.9 meters. We have to show this up to 1 decimal place. To show that, we know that in this question, the given thing over here is one of the length AB, one of the length is given, and one of the length AD is also given. Now when we are given 2 lengths and one of the included angle from that, we know we can apply the law of cosine over here, because the law of cosine says we know we can find out the third side if 2 sides and 1 included angle is given. To apply that, we can say this 16.9 meter is, you can say this one is going to be the side A, we can say BD. So we are finding BD with the square on that equals to the square of the AD. We know the other 2 sides, we have to take the square, add with the AB square, and then subtract the formula of that, subtract with 2 times again the 2 sides we have taken AD times by AB, and after that cos of the angle, included angle, the angle opposite to the side we are finding out, which is BD. So that's cos of 57 degrees here. This is the formula to solve this side of BD, and then we'll show that it would going to be 16.9 meters. To solve this thing out, we know it's AD square. AD over here is 19 square. Adding with AB square, which is 16 square. Subtract with 2 times again 19 times 16 and times by cos of 57 degrees. Now just you have to use your calculator and you'll be getting the answer. So that's 19 square, add with 16 square, subtract with 2 times 19 times 16 and then times by cos of 57 degrees. After solving this whole thing down, what we'll get here is 285.859, we can say, which is BD with the square on that. And then you have to just take the whole thing, square root of the answer over here, and after getting the square root of the answer BD, because to get the square root, then we'll cancel the square and square root. So BD equals to 16.9 centimeters, correct to up to 1 decimal place. It shows this is your solution for the question. We have showed that BD is equals to 16.9 centimeters. Moving towards part B, it shows calculate the angle CBD. Calculating angle CBD means this CBD, this is the angle, the middle angle are the angles we are finding out. We can say that's an angle theta we are going to find out. To find this angle out, what things we know that we have been given, we can see here the side is given, which is 16.9 here centimeters. We have been given one of the angles, we have been given the side opposite to that as well. So it means the angle is given, the opposite side is given, the side is given, the opposite angle for that is angle C. We know if we can get the angle C over here, but we are finding out the angle B, we cannot get it directly because we are not given any of the side from the angle B, like the theta is not given, as well as the opposite side DC is not given. Therefore we cannot apply the sine rule, we cannot apply the cosine rule for that, because two sides are given but the included angle for the two sides is not given. Therefore we'll try to get the angle C. After getting the angle C, we know that is a triangle, BDC is a triangle. You can just subtract the two angles which we have find out already, 75 and the angle C. We'll get the angle B from that. First of all, we get the angle C. To get the angle C, what we'll be applying? Sine rule. Sine rule says that the angle C, we can say angle C means sine of angle C dividing by the side opposite to that, which is 16.9, and that is equals to, now we know the angle D is given, to sine of angle D dividing by the side opposite, which is 32 meters. Okay, these are the meters, so we'll be taking them into the meters. The last question, it should also be in the meters. There's a small mistake here, you can convert it to the meters, okay, the constant units. Next part here, they have given, we have been given, and we are getting to solve the answer. We'll be setting for the angle C. So sine of angle C remains the same, equals to sine of angle D, and D, angle D is 75. So sine of 75 times by 16.9, you'll take cross multiply and times by 16.9, dividing them by 32. After doing that, we'll be checking the answer, and because we are solving it for sine C here, angle C here, we have to take the sine to the other side. So angle C is equals to sine inverse of this whole thing. The sine of 75 we'll just write here, sine 75 times by 16.9. Yes, sine 75 times 16.9 dividing here by 32. We'll get here is 0.510, something like that, and then you will be taking sine inverse of the answer on the calculator. We'll get the answer for angle C equals to 30.67 degrees. It means this angle, angle C, is 30.67 degrees. To get the angle B, what should we do? We have been given a triangle here. In that triangle, what we'll do, 75 is one angle, 30.67 is another angle. We'll just solve it for the angle B, CBD. That would be 180 degrees. Subtract with 75 degrees. Subtract with 30.67 degrees. So that would get us 180, subtract 30.67 and subtract with 75. The angle we'll be getting here for that is, CBD is 74.33 degrees. It means this angle over here, theta, equals to 74.33 degrees. This is the solution for the question. So in that question, in first part, we have just simply applied the cosine rule and find out the side to get this, show it like 16.9 meters. And then we calculated the angle CBD by using sine law. We'll be getting another angle C, and then we'll be using the interior angle of a total of a triangle, 180 subtract with the two other angles, we'll get the angle for the angle B, CBD. That's the solution for question number 2. Another past paper question, that is question number 3. Now we'll solve this one for your practice. It shows ABCD is a trapezium. We have been given a quadrilateral shape, that is a trapezium with DC parallel to AB. That's an important part. DC is parallel to AB, so means two sides are parallel to each other. After that, DC equals to 6.4. One side DC is given 6.4. DB diagonal is given, that's 10.9 centimeters, and an angle CDB is 38 degrees. CDB, it means angle D here is 38 degrees. Lastly, angle DAB is given another, which is 45 degrees over here. What we are finding out is find CB. CB means this is the side we are going to find out. To find that one side out, we have to first of all figure out carefully what two sides or what angle are given. So we'll include this triangle, this one, which is DCB. We are taking this DCB triangle and we'll try to figure out from that how to find the angle in that. To solve it, we know one side is given which is 10.9 centimeters, another side is given which is 6.4 centimeters, and an angle, included angle 38 degrees given. What we are finding out is the opposite side, which is, we can say, an x. So if we are finding out that one, we know again in a cosine law we apply two sides and one included angle for that is given, we can apply that. So to find the angle CB, we can say this is DCB. So we'll just apply the cosine rule here, which is going to be CB square equals to the square of the other two sides, which is DB square, and then add with the DC square. After that, subtract with 2 times DB, multiply by DC again, and then cos of the included angle between those two sides, which is 38 degrees. To solve this, just we'll be going to put the values now. DB square is, we can say, 10.9 square, add with 6.4 square, subtract with 2 times again 10.9, and times by 6.4 with the cos of 38 degrees here. To solve this, we'll just apply the calculator for that. Again, 10.9 square, add with 6.4 square, subtract with 2 times 10.9 times by 6.4, and then times by cos of 38 degrees. After solving it, what we get here is, we have got here 49.826. That's going to be CB square. Taking the square root on both sides to get the square cancelled out. So CB, length of CB equals to, taking the square root of the answer, we'll get here is 7.05 centimeters. So it means 7.05 is the length of the CB. That's the solution for this question. Now, getting the part B, part 1 for the part B, they have given find the angle ADB. We are getting the angle ADB. This is the angle ADB we are going to get over here. So it means getting the angle ADB, we have to again check this other triangle out, that how can we get this. We know that this angle is here like that. We can first of all see over here, there's another important part, that CDB, because DC and BAB, they both are parallel to each other. What does the parallel? There is an important rule in the parallel lines. When two lines are parallel and one line is crossing out in between, so then there would be an angle you can make, that is a Z angle, alternate angle property. It means if this is 38 degrees, this angle downward is also 38 degrees. And we are getting the angle is ADB, the above angle. To get that angle, we know the total triangle is ADB, is a triangle here. We can subtract the other two angles, which is 45 and 38 degrees from 180, and you'll get the answer for that. So it means angle ADB would be 180 degrees, subtract with the 45 and subtract with the angle we got from the alternate angle properties, that's 38 degrees. And what should be the answer for that is subtracting 97 degrees. It means the angle over here is 97 degrees. That's your answer for this question. Nextly, they are asking to find AB. The second part shows to find the angle or the side AB. Now if we check this out in this triangle given, which is ADB, we know that we have been given all the three angles are given, that's a good thing, and one of the side is given, that is 10.9. It means we can apply the law of sine because two angles and one side is given and we are finding out the remaining side. So while applying the law of sine, what does says that sine of the angle, we can say first of all 45 degrees, divide by the side opposite to that, which is 10.9, like this, centimeters, equals to, now the angle, the side we are getting is AB. The angle opposite to that is 97 degrees. It means we have to use that angle. So then sine of 97 degrees divided by the length of AB. That's the sine law. We have used the sine law. Just we have to solve this question out. We'll be getting the answer for AB. To solve it, we can cross multiply AB above, sine 45 downwards. It would be AB is equals to sine of 97 degrees. And you can take this 10.59 above as well to multiply there to get the answers directly. and dividing by the cross multiplied sine 45 downwards. Just you have to use your calculator and you'll be getting the answer. So sine of 97 times by 10.9 and then divide by sine of 45 degrees. The answer for that AB is, the length AB is equals to 15.30 and the units are centimeters, so centimeters for this as well. This is the solution for AB. So the side AB is this. So this is the whole topic that we have covered out for the trigonometry about the sine law and cosine law. Make sure to subscribe, and if there's any confusion you can ask me in the comment section. See you then in the next one, guys, in the next lesson, guys. Take care. Bye.